Wait till you see this. This old guy in Finland drives a truck that runs on nothing but firewood. No gas, no diesel, just sticks and logs. This retired engineer built one himself. It uses 30 to 40 kilograms of dry hardwood per 100 kilometers, which costs him nothing because he collects the wood from his own forest. He converted a classic 1972 Chevrolet C10 pickup by adding a steel gasifier in the middle of the bed, and the science behind it is way cooler than you'd think. Here's how it works. The gasifier has three main parts: the combustion chamber where the wood smolders, filters that remove tar and ash, and an intercooler that brings the hot gas down to engine temperature. When you burn wood without enough oxygen, it doesn't turn to ash. It turns into a clean burning mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen, basically synthetic gas. That gas gets piped into the engine and it runs like gasoline. This technology isn't new. It actually saved millions of people during World War II. When Germany seized oil for the military, civilians had no way to fuel their cars, so they converted everything to run on wood. Over 1 million vehicles across Europe were modified, including cars, trucks, buses, and tractors. Germany alone had 500,000 wood-burning vehicles, and they built over 3,000 wood stations where you could buy firewood like gas. Now watch how he starts it up. It's a ritual. First, he stuffs the gasifier full of dry oak. Pine is too sappy and clogs the filters. Then lights it with newspaper and kindling. He closes the lid tight to cut off most oxygen, which forces the wood to smolder instead of burn. For the first 5 minutes, all you get is thick black smoke, so he leaves the exhaust valve open to vent it. But wait for it. After exactly 10 minutes, the smoke turns clear, and you can hold a lighter to the exhaust pipe and get a bright blue flame. That means the synthetic gas is pure enough to run the engine. If the flame is yellow or orange, you have to wait longer. Impure gas can damage the engine. Once the flame is perfect, he closes the exhaust valve, turns the key, and the V8 fires right up. The engine itself is a stock 1972 5.7-liter V8. He didn't have to modify the block or internals. The only changes he made were disconnecting the gasoline fuel line and hooking up the gasifier output to the carburetor. He even swapped in the intake manifold from a 1982 Chevrolet Corvette to improve airflow and make the gas burn more efficiently. Converting a car to run on wood is basically the same as converting it to run on natural gas or propane. You just change the fuel supply system. Now he takes it for a test drive around his property, and it runs surprisingly smoothly. It has about half the power it did on gasoline, so it tops out at around 60 miles per hour, and acceleration is slow, but it's reliable. He's driven it over 10,000 miles on wood, and it's never broken down on him. You'll notice there's no smoke coming out of the tailpipe at all, and that's because there's a sealed ash collector at the bottom of the gasifier that catches all the soot and ash. As the truck drives, vibrations shake the ash down into the collector, so nothing gets blown out onto the road. He only has to empty it about once every 500 miles. A lot of people think this is the perfect solution to high gas prices. Wood is renewable everywhere and free if you have access to a forest. The conversion only cost him about $500 in parts, which is way cheaper than buying an electric car. But it has some big downsides that most people don't talk about. The gasifier alone weighs 300 kilograms, so the truck is heavier than stock, which wears out the brakes and suspension faster. You also have to carry extra wood on long trips. He usually keeps a big bundle in the bed, and he has to stop every 100 kilometers to refill the gasifier. Safety is another concern. The gasifier runs at high pressure, so if it gets damaged in a crash, it could leak deadly carbon monoxide or even explode. And the biggest hassle of all, you can't just jump in and go. You have to warm up the gasifier for 5 to 10 minutes every time you want to drive. If you're in a hurry, you're out of luck. And good luck finding a wood station on the highway. If you run out of wood in the middle of nowhere, you're stuck. It's great for someone like this old guy who lives in the country and has plenty of time and firewood, but can you imagine commuting to work in this? There are no wood stations anymore, so you'd have to carry all your own fuel everywhere. These wood-burning cars are extremely rare now, and most are sitting in museums. But with gas prices going up every year, more people are starting to look back at this old World War II technology. Here's the big question. If gas prices hit $10 a gallon, would you convert your car to run on wood? It's cheap, it's renewable, and you can collect fuel for free, but is all the hassle worth it? Let me know in the comments if you'd ever drive a wood-burning truck.